Okay, guys, new day. We're on sightseeing, well, I should say new day and my last day here, basically. So we're on a sightseeing jumbo zanza. We're on a sightseeing quickie, like we got to have the pop. I bought this stupid $8 million pass so I can go to like some sites. So we're about to, try to sightsee rapid fire, basically. Let's go. It's like noon. We got, I don't know, most things close around 6, 7. So we got like 6, 7 hours to see as much as we can.
Okay, so just so you guys have an idea of what you're going to see, here's my itinerary, or like my list of things to do. First you go to the Tower of London, then the Westminster Abbey, then the London Eye, then Buckingham Palace, and then Camden Market. So yeah, the first half of those things will be in this video, then the second half will be in the next video. Okay, enjoy.
Guys, first stop on the walking tour, or not my walking tour, just on my tour, is the castle. Or fort or tower, whatever you want to call it. I had to figure out how you get inside of it, because I have no idea. Also, I kind of did pick the worst day to do all this because it's Saturday, which makes me think it's going to be the most busy days for everything, but
You're visiting one of the places that in the whole world holds the most history, drama, intrigue, betrayal. The Tower of London is a castle that's 1,000 years old, and it still protects the crown jewels. It's been a luxurious royal palace. It's been a secure fortress in times of danger. It's been an infamous prison for enemies of the state, and a place from which kings and queens have exercised their power.
Defence and new palace buildings. This building is called St. Thomas's Tower. King Edward I built it as part of a huge new outer ring of defences in the late 1200s. What you're standing on is actually land that he reclaimed from the River Thames.
What's really striking for modern visitors is how incredibly colourful it was. So you get really bright oranges.
St. Thomas's Tower, guys. I'm sort of just letting this free audio guide describe everything for y'all. Edward's chamber. Don't ask me who King Edward is, but sounds like a cool guy. Here we are, King Edward the First. Edward the First, like most medieval nobles, spent most of his life on the move. He had many castles, and only stayed in the Tower of London for 53 days. Was there like ever any other furniture in here? Like, look how big this damn room is. It's definitely giving medieval. Like, I feel like this place was cold as shit during the winter. Like, no insulation, just this little fireplace in this big wooden ass castle. This place or this castle or what I'm doing here, but hope y'all enjoy seeing it. Let's go up the creepy steps. Oh baby, and now it's starting to rain. This is just great. We're like in the center of the castle now. They done built shops in the center of the castle. Whatever that big building is. Fortress? I think it's called a fortress more than a castle. Yeah. Anyhow, I think this is the Tower Bridge. But yep, it's currently raining on my camera. This is great. Guys, I just overheard that apparently this center thing was built first, and then they built like the fortress around it to help protect the palace. And yes, it's still raining on my camera. Also, guys, please look at this. This is what I have to deal with trying to get photos. Okay, you see? There's the cool tower there. I asked somebody to take my picture. This is what they took. Wait. Where's the first photo? Here. This is the photo they took. Even though there's this, they somehow for some reason take it without that in the background. Look, all of them. Instead of having the, you know, big brain power to take it with the stupid tower in the background. Like, they purposely just didn't. Damn, guys, look. They were even playing chess back in the days. Chess has been going on forever. Don't ask me what's going on down here, but seems like some sort of live play thing or something. As a fortress, the Tower of London was used to hold important and dangerous prisoners. The king, an alleged sorcerer, and a Jesuit priest are just three of the people held in this room at different times. He denied all the charges and claimed he had burned his magic books. Ay, ay, ay. 1500s must have been a wild time. Here we are, up some more tight, creepy steps. Why did they not think to build bigger steps back in the medieval days? Oh. Oh, it's still raining on my camera. How it's just like this big random like old medieval fortress, but it's like surrounded by like the industrial cities of the modern times. Like it looks like somebody just like plopped it in the middle of freaking, you know, today's times type city. Also, maybe I should have got the paid for audio guide, because like the one I have, it's not explaining anything. Like I keep looking, like all the other things it explains aren't like all these little castles and things that are like towers that I keep walking into. Which I think that one would, because it like follows you as you walk and explains things. Because it like kind of tracks your location. But mine, it just like, yeah, it's got nothing to say for all the things I've walked in, all the little towers. So we're just sort of having to figure it out as we go. But do we care for the history around here? I mean, not really, but, I mean, if we're going to be here, we might as well. What the fuck is the sound coming from here? Why is it like people are fighting? Oh, yeah, they're playing something in here. Peasants camp outside the tower, angered by the new poll tax everyone must pay. People march on London to complain to the young King Richard II, and his government is doing nothing to address the problems. This one, peasants break in, the king leaves. Oh wait, there's dates. 1381. Holy hell, this place is old as shit. The king leaves to meet the new body rebels. Meanwhile, the unthinkable happens. The peasants outside the tower break in, they insult the country's shelter there, and then the first and only time the tower is breached by attackers. Yeah, I can't see through there with my camera. Peasants left the tower. The tower is a palace, a prison, the site of the royal mint and the royal menagerie. I don't know what the hell that says. Raiders target the royal wardrobe, where the king's supplies and stored. Wait, where the king's supplies are stored? I don't know. Archbishop killed. The peasant seized the hated Simon, but Sudbury Archbishop of Canterbury and other advisors blamed for the protest. They dragged somebody from the chapel where he is saying mass. He is beheaded on the Tower Hill. Within days, however, the revolt failed and the peasants' leaders were killed. They got my man's head on a spike. I don't know what this long ass line is for, but I think it's to like go in the treasury. I think. To go where like the crown jewels are. Maybe. The sign says Martin Tower 1240. God damn, this was built a long time ago. Walking up and down more tiny creepy steps. Riding up and down on the elevator. Let me know if you know where that's from.
Jumping up and down on the alligator. Riding up and down in the elevator.
Living in the Tower. The Tower of London has been a fortress and palace and prison for almost 1,000 years. It has also been home of hundreds of the Yeoman Warders and their families. The Yeoman Warders are the guardians of ancient ceremonies. The ceremony of the keys has taken place every night for more than 700 years. To lock up the tower, it begins when something. Today's Yeoman Warders have at least 22 years of military experience. Each has reached the rank of warrant officer and being awarded long service. See, this is the problem with America. Ain't no American finna become a Yeoman Warder. Like, who do we look like? This shit should have died 300 years ago. The fact that they're still keeping this alive today is crazy. Move on. You can't be stuck in the past no more, you Englishmen. On to the next tower. How about exchanging a valuable wild animal? For a long time, powerful rulers tried to impress each other by exchanging living gifts. From 1210, England's royal beasts lived and died here in the tower. So this, back in the day, they were like, oh my god, you're getting married? Have a lion. Oh my god, it's your birthday? Take a panther. Lions were among the most important royal beasts of the tower and kept here for 600 years. That sounds like animal cruelty. Oh my god, your son died? Take a peacock. 1215, King John issues the Magna Carta. How many of y'all from history, like back in America, remember what the Magna Carta is? 1066, William the Conqueror invades England and founds the Tower of London in 1066. So not only were they encaging slaves, they were encaging animals. The whites just couldn't get enough. Oh look guys, I found some more animals in a cage. The last royal beast left the tower in 1832 for the new London Zoo. Oh my, they finally realized they should stop stealing animals from across the world. Good shit guys. I'm glad we finally became progressive in 1832. Duke of Wellington, 1769, 1802. See, why do they have these like crazy names? The Duke, the Queen, the like all these dumb names. Like, this is the problem. Like, they just think they're better than everybody. Like, there's no need for all these grand names. This sign in here says, the Tower of London in the First World War, 1914 to 1918. What was going on in here in the World War? That's all in Russian. Okay, let's go this way. 100 years ago, the ancient tower had a role to play in the first truly global war.
Riding up and down in the elevator.
Then the tower was a military base. Remarkably, the tower stayed open to visitors despite daytime air raids. Yeah. What else is going on? Scots guards packing their kit in front of the tower. That kid is like 8. Why is he in the military? A video over here of people lining up outside the tower. Army recruits taking the oath of allegiance in the tower mode. 29th of August, 1914. Soldiers training at the tower, autumn 1914. Okay, let's keep it going. Wait, this one says during the First World War, 11 men were executed at the tower by firing squad. They had been tried and found guilty of espionage. Oh my, they still have some of the... What were they called again? These people have all been in the military.
Good position to take in the layout of London's great medieval fortress. You may like to stand to one side of the path while you listen. Facing away from the archway, on the right, you'll see the huge square bulk of the White Tower. This was William the Conqueror's original fortified tower or keep. In the 1200s, medieval kings expanded the fortress. Have a look at your screen to see what they did. Henry III added a strong wall around the fortress. His son, Edward I, added another huge wall all the way round.
Where the hell are those two going? And why do these things still why did these things still exist, and why are they all still dressed like that? And who signs up to be like this? You English people are weirdos. What is the point? I don't get it. Like, do people still try to like invade the castles or some shit? Like, I'm confused. Why do we need these people here? Like, there's a guy way over there, y'all can't see, just standing outside the house. Why? There's nothing in the house. Why do they have to stand here and protect nothing? Like, who's trying to invade this shit in the year 2024? Like, I genuinely don't get it. And why do they still have to dress like this and wear these big bushy shits on their head? Like, and they just stand here all day and get photographed. Like, how can you just stand for this long?
Like, buddy, blink twice if you need help. Guys, let's look. I think he blinked, guys. I think we should help him because
Why is he just standing here?
and yeah, like, they have to sit here and just be serious.
Buddy, blink 3 times if you need help. Oh, he's blinking hella, guys. I think he's in the real danger. Actually, not. How much do they pay these people? If you're from the UK, how much do people like this get paid? Because I just refuse to believe this. And they say Americans are super patriotic. Come on now. It doesn't get more patriotic than this. And again, y'all can't really tell, but yeah, that says the crown jewels. So that is what this long line is for. But first, let's go inside the big white castle. Oh, see, this lady thinks she's the main character. The White Tower and Royal Armories. This lady's still just standing here watching the birds like she's Snow White. Guys, there's a bell and she's moving. Then there's another lady dressed up over there. I don't know if y'all can tell. Ringing the bell. Guys, I don't think I can record in here. But I don't give a shit.
It wasn't just commissioned to create into the reign of King Richard II, and the man, the Archbishop of Canterbury, who was called.
To be honest, guys, just a bunch of old shit. We got different types of guns here. We got samurai's armor here. We have like all the different kings' little tiny little poker weapons there. We have a horse here. We have India's bounty here. Don't know what the hell that is. Sounds racist. We have then armor. Yeah. Okay. Why is there randomly just a P90 in here? I don't think that's supposed to be there, guys. I think that's like an Easter egg. Wait, there's even a golden pistol. There's a Tommy gun. Bro, what year is all this from? 17th century? Modern firearms. I don't know. Up more creepy steps. Up a lot of more creepy steps.
Jumping up and down on the alligator.
Alright guys, who needs audio guides when we have the Jaylan professional guide? We got Samuel Pepsi from 1660. He might be the founder. a Pepsi. We have French map maker traveler Jubin the Rochefort from 1672. We have a Francis Duke named Francis Duke from 1731. We have Phyllis Wheatley, an African American slave. Why the fuck is she thrown in here with all the white people? Okay. We have William Hutton, who's a bookseller from Birmingham in 1785. We have Abraham Pasha, the Viceroy of Egypt after the abdication of his father Muhammad Ali. Okay, from 1846. And then we have the Empress Eugene. Enough said, her name's Eugene. The man's armor is a composite armor of Maximilian type and fluid decoration. Lots and lots of armor. See, at this rate, since many armor plates, since the English are so proud of their history, they should just show up to battles wearing these still. Like, no, they don't get bulletproof vests or anything like that. They should show up to World War III on horses, wearing armor, and then just like Glocks on their hips. That would be funny. World War III. English, this is how I expect y'all to pull up. Holy shit, what is this? My name is Keeper. Keeper, you are definitely the coolest thing here. See, I don't have like the audio guide like everybody else to explain what this is supposed to be or represent, but it's cool. Oh, wait, here it is. Weaponized wallpapering. Huh? Okay, yep, never mind. That sounds boring. Keep it going. Constables of the London Tower. Officially responsible for running the tower. They get special privileges. Royal Mint. Coins have been produced in London since the Roman period from 1278 to 79. The London Mint was the base of the tower. Yeah, okay. Royal Mint. Oh, and you can get coins here. Very swifty. Prison and prisoners. This looks like a mask they made you wear that had a bell constantly. This looks like handcuffs. That looks like... I have no idea. This looks like... maybe they force you to stick your whole body through that. I don't know. That looks like a sex device. More handcuffs. More handcuffs here. And a mask here that maybe it's just uncomfortable. Oh wait, it explains what everything is. Only 20 people have ever been executed within the tower site. 7 in the 15th, 16th centuries, 3 in the 18th century. It was said it could compress the body so much that the blood was forced from the nose and ears. That is this weird thing that I said looks like your body go through it and looks like a sex device.
None of the other ones had any interesting stories, so I'm not even gonna put them in there. Like, they were all just like normal, just like handcuffs or things like this, or like the mask just like kind of keeps you from talking, and then the other one was just like a bell on it. Like, yeah, there were some were all just boring, so I'm not gonna put them in here.
Okay, there's definitely way worse torture devices that I know of, so those really weren't that bad. Other than the one that squeezes your blood out your nose, but everything else is fine. Tower of War. A long, scary hallway. Honestly, playing hide and seek in places like this would be creepy at night. No wonder they thought everything was witchcraft and sorcery and haunted. Look how they built the places. I mean, if they never built this, we would never have what we have today. So honestly, it would be cool to live in a place like this. Like, if you like modernize it a bit. Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, why does the sword look like this, Daddy? These are some big cannons. Robert Dower, 2nd Earl of Essex. Essex was the last person to be beheaded inside the tower in 1601. The former soldier in favor of Queen Elizabeth was found guilty of treason and got beheaded. That's tough. Time to stand in this long line to see the crown jewels, and then we're done. Like, there's other little, like, I think that's like a little museum. There are little things you can go into, guys, but I gotta hurry. I got more things to see. Okay, guys, I wasn't really allowed to, like, record anything in there. Really, so... Yeah, no, it's basically just a bunch of crowns and just a bunch of rich shit. Just a bunch of shit that just gives me, like, too bougie vibe. Like, a bunch of, like, big gold-ass, like, fountains, big gold-ass cups, big, like, all these fancy royalty things, big gold everything, a bunch of, like, diamonds. I had, like, the largest diamond in there. That thing's, like, 70 carats. 1,307 carats or something like that. No, maybe it was, like, 3,000 something carats. I don't know. Big-ass diamond. They had, yeah, just a bunch of crowns and, like, staffs that are all covered in diamonds and rubies, and crowns covered in diamonds and rubies. If I can find some pictures, I can insert them, but... people love their queens a bit too much. Like, everything here is just based around Queen Elizabeth. Like, we're going to Westminster Abbey, which has Queen Elizabeth's I's tomb. All those crowns I saw in that one last place, the crowns were all, like, from the Crown Place or from Queen Elizabeth. The Big Ben, like, it's, people call it Big Ben, but it's really called Elizabeth's Tower. I don't know, like, everything here is just based around Queen Elizabeth. Her crowns, her crypts, her towers, her churches, her everything. Guys, places like this, it is like crazy to think that they're so old. But like the way they look, it's like, how did they get way up here to build all these like crazy rooftop structures back in like 1,000 years ago or whatever? Like, I don't get it. Like, nowadays we have like cranes and shit that can somehow get up there, but how did they stack bricks? Like, what? Like, these things actually had to have people working on them all day, every day for like years to achieve this shit. Like, what the hell, man? What the hell?
The grave of the unknown warrior is considered to be one of the most important memorials in the Abbey. In it lies the unidentified body of a British soldier brought back from the battlefields of the First World War. He was buried on the 11th of November 1920 under soil from the World War I battlefields. 100 men who'd been awarded the Victoria Cross for valour formed a guard of honour during the ceremony in the Abbey. This is the only grave in the Abbey which is never walked on.
Yeah, I really don't understand why they buried some, I mean, like, I get, okay, he died and he maybe got blown, so he was like a name or something, but like there was plenty of soldiers who died in that war, so why bury him here in this like super holy place? I don't get it. Like, if he was like some guy who did some crazy heroic act, I get it, but they didn't make it sound like he did.
This building was begun by Henry III in 1245 and is one of the most important Gothic buildings in Britain. It's been a place of Christian worship for 1,000 years. God is worshipped here every day. Benedictine monks built the first church here in the mid-10th century. In 1065, King Edward the Confessor completed a new church to stand alongside his new royal palace, the Palace of Westminster, next door. He was buried here, and declared a saint. His shrine lies at the heart of the building. The village of Westminster grew to support the royal palace, and the monks built St Margaret's Church beside the abbey for the local community to use. Christians have worshipped God on this site for 1,000 years. The abbey is the nation's church, where we commemorate and celebrate. Special services throughout the year mark national events and remember those who have played an important role in national and international life.
Given the Abbey's position, both physically in the centre of London and in terms of its reputation nationally, we are often called on to be of service to the nation. We were called upon to host a service in March 2017 to recognise those victims of the Westminster terror attack, which occurred almost literally on our doorstep.
Guys, I think they're preparing for some sort of service or something because they're putting out a bunch of chairs and they told us to move from that area.
Monks came to the choir to pray the divine office as a community 7 times a day. These seats, known as stalls, are not original, but the purpose of the choir remains unchanged. The Abbey's clergy and choir worship here daily. Some of the stalls have plaques showing who sits in them on special occasions. Just to the right of where you came in is the Sovereign's stall. The Dean of Westminster is the only other person who ever sits here.
Our hours are longer than usual. The school day starts usually at 7:45 and ends at 4 o'clock. I think we have music at our abbey, so that the people are closer to God and so that they can pray a bit better.
The altar is the most sacred part of a Christian church. We can't go into the shrine because its floor is so fragile, but look up above the steps and you should catch a glimpse. Edward, the Confessor, was the penultimate Anglo-Saxon king of England. He rebuilt the church on this site, his name, the Confessor, referring to his proclamation of the faith. The abbey became a place of pilgrimage after his body was buried in a new shrine above ground in 1163. Pilgrims continue to visit the shrine today. Above your head is the ornate stone chantry chapel, built so that prayers could be said for the king's soul. It's decorated with images of Henry's coronation and of him riding into battle. As you make your way up towards the Lady Chapel, please keep to your left and take care as you climb the stairs.
Well, it doesn't really say who any of these people were or what the hell they did. But yeah, basically standing on a big graveyard.
Elizabeth I died in 1603 and was buried here on the instructions of James I. The rose and portcullis on her tomb represent her Tudor father, Henry VIII, and the falcon, her mother, Anne Boleyn. Religious upheaval pitched Elizabeth against her Roman Catholic half-sister Mary, who ruled immediately before her. But although they were divided in life, they are buried here together, a powerful symbol of the beliefs Anglicans and Roman Catholics share. At the end is Innocents' Corner, the resting place of some of the royal children buried in the abbey. Was crowned in the abbey in 1485. A year later, he married Elizabeth of York, uniting the houses of York and Lancaster that had fought for the throne during the War of the Roses. She's buried with him, and their effigies lie together on the top of the tomb. The inscription says, in part, "They were parents happy in their offspring, to whom, land of England, you owe Henry VIII." Ironically, their son Henry VIII shut down the monastic community here at Westminster in 1540, as he closed monasteries all over England. He's the only Tudor monarch not to be buried here.
Guys, they got my man here in a cage, bro. His entire tomb is encaged. I think that means he's more important than Queen Elizabeth because Queen Elizabeth wasn't in a cage. Her tomb wasn't as protected, so maybe Queen Elizabeth isn't the shit.
This chapel is dedicated to the memory of the men who died in the Battle of Britain in 1940. Depicted in the stained glass are the badges of the squadrons that fought, including those from the United States of America, Canada, Poland, and the former Czechoslovakia. The Roll of Honour lists the 1,497 pilots and crew who died. In 1556, his remains were transferred to the more ornate tomb that you see today. Nearly 200 years later, the poet Edmund Spenser asked to be buried near Chaucer's tomb, and the tradition of burials in Poets' Corner began. 19th century poets Alfred Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning are buried here. Plaques or leisure stones commemorate, amongst others, William Shakespeare, the Bronte sisters, Jane Austen, Lewis Carroll, and Dylan Thomas.
Guys, look who it is. It's William Shakespeare. I don't think he was buried here, so he's buried, I think, somewhere else, but I think it's just a memorial of him. William Shakespeare is a goat. I don't recognize any of these other people, though. 1564 to 1616, William Shakespeare. Holy hell, what is this? Also the show belonging to the heads of great families. The windows he placed shields of founders and benefactors. It's like the shields of different houses and things. What is this? Between 1372, bro, like this shit is so damn old. Like, oh my god. A picture of the Last Judgment, something. No, this little statue's kind of cool. What the hell? This says Britain's oldest door, most likely constructed in 1050s for St. Edward's Confessors, Westminster Abbey. There's just no way. There's no way you can know what the oldest door in the world, like in all of Britain, is. Like, how can they tell when the first door was built? I don't believe that shit. Maybe the first door that was built in part of the Abbey, but like, just in all of Britain? No way. Guys, here's what the outside of the building looks like. Like, how did they build this in the year 1000 or some shit? Or 1000, I mean, or like, whenever they built this, like, how, bro? I don't believe it. We can't even build this nowadays. And everybody be talking about people in America having guns. All these officers over here walking around with machine guns. Our officers don't do that.
Okay, see you on the next one, where we go do the rest of the things on my sort of agenda list, like the Camden Market and the London Eye, which are both much more like interesting and fun things as opposed to like straight history based things. So yeah, see you in the next one. Okay, bye.